น
สวัสดีครับ
สวัสดีครับ nice to meet you
ไทยพีวีเอสครับมาพร้อมสายฝนจะออกบ้านปุ๊บฝนป้าม
ะนาว don't touch it no ไม่จับนะคะมะนาวมะนาวไม่จับค่ะมะนาวมะนาวไม่จับค่ะค่ะตีปุ๊บ
20 50 since working in Thailand about 2 years 2 ปีพร้อมยังครับ
เดี๋ยวแป๊บนึง
จะสังคมงานศิลปะชิ้นนี้อะไรเงี้ยที่มันถูกทิ้งไว้ตามสถานที่ต่างๆที่เป็นไปที่เป็นทำไว้
So have any case that the people when they come and see your artwork and they just feel curious, who did that? You know?
I have had instances where people have come across me working, and I usually took part in the creation of the Stone Elisa. But in the forest, I didn't meet anybody because I was very isolated. But I'm starting to work in more public.
สังคมละ
ก่อนทำทิ้งไว้
ทำทิ้งไว้ตามปาก maybe they can have your
This way or the other way round?
this way.
This way.
What about that? This thing can have photo degree.
นี่
Come on in, boy. Mask off. Yeah. What do you mean?
ถือได้
อันนี้สวยมากอ่ะ
ไม่สวยเอาหักแล้วโอ้
Experiment.
ชิ้นไหนที่แบบมีแรงบันดาลใจแล้วก็เกี่ยวกับของประเทศไทยบ้างอ่ะมีไหม
ยังไม่มีสิ
เหรอ
ให้ทำรอ10นึงฮาตึมเล
ก็
ย
อยาเลยเชี่ย
ตอนแรกคิดว่าคือทำรูป
จ้าเลยพี่อย่าเลยผม
จ้ะ
น่าจ้าเลยนะไม่ใช่สีนะครับเป็นหินหมดเลยไปหาทีละกรทีละกรเพื่อให้สีที่มันเหมาะสม
เสียดสีมาแนวกันนะ
ใช่
สุดยอด
ดีขอภาพงานเก่าๆเพิ่นแล้วก็
ได้ครับ
คลิปให้หน่อยนะ
ได้ครับ
เดี๋ยวดีส่งไลน์
จัดไปส่งในกลุ่มเลยพี่เนาะ
โอเค
Okay. No way, no way. Can you tell us about your first time in Thailand when you create your artwork?
Yes, I came at the beginning of coronavirus and straight into lockdown, living in the forest near Hang Dong, and started making work in the forest. And actually, it was the perfect place to be creative.
So what's your first art? What's like? What's
The first piece of work was in England, actually in Portsmouth, and that was called the Stone Elisa that I made with a friend, Tony Brooks. And then since then, I've been making work as I travel. So I've made work in Indonesia, in Bali, and now in Thailand, Chiang Mai, and Koh Chang.
Any your favorite artwork would you like to presentation when you work in Thailand, especially in Chiang Mai? Which one you like most?
So tricky question. They've all got different personalities. Sometimes the stones behave and sometimes they're naughty. So it depends very much on the process. Some I enjoy more than others, but I think George Washing stone has been a big, a lot of people tend to like that one. I think they identify the image very easily.
So how you feel when your artwork is quite popular now in Thailand, the people most sharing around?
It's lovely to have the recognition and for the work to become known, and I hope that it inspires people to make art themselves. I remember as a child making sand castles and snowmen and things like that. I think everybody has the ability to make and be creative.
So what is your continuing with your artwork in Thailand after this? Any new things? Like you can have your own gallery or something like that?
Well, I'm concentrating very much on site-specific work at the moment, but I do have some permanent pieces in development. They are small tokens as opposed to major works of art. They're just tokens to represent what I do. But I have a few ideas moving forward about works that I would like to make and locations that I would work
So
in.
one piece of art, how long does it make?
That can vary. It can vary from 2 or 3 days to up to 3 weeks, depending on the scale, the location, and the stones that I require.
So now the last question is very common. Introduce yourself, like short one.
My name is Justin. I'm an artist from England, and I've been creating land art for 3 years. I trained at St. Martin's in London, and I love Thailand.
Thank you so much.
โอเคบอกแกยืนนิ่งๆก่อน
Okay, just stand up. ให้กับทำ the artwork.
I returned to Portsmouth, England 2 years ago, and I saw my friends on the beach. I didn't want to stay inside because I was used to living in Asia. So I insisted that my friends meet me on the beach, and we started playing with stones as we sat, and that's when it happened. It was very organic, and now I choose locations depending on where I can find specific types of stone and the details. If it's a particularly detailed piece, it can take maybe about 4 days just to collect stones, because I have to collect many different tones. I call them my stonal values as opposed to tonal values.
Okay, thank you.
บอกแกยืนนิ่งๆก่อน
Okay,
กำไม่ก
stand still.
ำนายถามว่า
3, 2, 1, go.
So this piece is called La Scapigliata. It's by Leonardo da Vinci. There are a wide range of hues, a lot of ochre, and this piece the original took about 4 days to complete, working from 8 a.m. until midnight. But these pieces are rare. They are these are more permanent, so I create them using resin, and they are really just for exhibition. But I'm experimenting with permanent work at the moment. Most of my work is impermanent. I return the stones to the environment from which they came, and I don't sell it.
you show the back side
That's one. งานที่เป็นเรซินนะครับ
แต่เขายังไม่มี
ไม่มีครับ
ยังไม่มีโชว์แบบ
ใช่ครับ
มีแผนไหม
มีอยู่ครับเมื่อกี้พูดในนี้ปกติเขาจะทำคือทำทิ้งทั้งกว้างอ่ะคือปล่อยไปโชว์
นี่เป็นชิ้นแรกชิ้นแรก
ส่งชิ้นแรกที่
It can show the both sides
Yes.
ถ้าดูไกลๆก็ไม่
คนบ้านเดียวกันนะ
But I hasten to add, these are experiments. I could actually do entire floors, ceilings, work at any scale.
Where you will find all the stone
The stones come from a variety of different places, never National Trust land or temples. I respect all of the laws and rituals, so often they come from car parks and sometimes wasteland. So I sometimes choose to live in locations just because they have nice stones. And as I said, I return all of the stones to their natural disorder when I finish. I like to leave nature as I find it.